Okay, hi everybody. My name is Justin Fisher. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Veriblock. And today I'm here to speak to you about securing the world's blockchains using Bitcoin. But before I begin, I just want to take a moment and I want to thank Mo Levin and the group that's put this together, the World Blockchain Forum. And most importantly, I'd like to thank all of you in the audience. So, let's talk about blockchain proliferation. Every day, we see in the news, on TV and everywhere, that blockchains are being announced, and there's new projects being talked about, and it seems we can't go a day without hearing this. But through all this proliferation, which is really exciting, there's a conundrum, a security paradox, as we call it. And generally, blockchains that are insecure are underutilized, and blockchains that are underutilized are insecure. And that's primarily because they have trouble attracting mining power. So when we talk about security as it relates to blockchains, I like to think of it more not in the sense of like Cisco firewalls or RSA or SSL type security, but the security of knowing. Knowing that if you write something to a blockchain or a distributed ledger, that it's going to be permanent, and that if it changes, everybody's going to know. In the case of a distributed ledger, or in the case of a public blockchain, that the data would be immutable, so that if you write it there, it's permanent in nature. So security is very important in this regard. And we know this is a problem because recently, if you look in the news, we've heard of countless 51% attacks, the double spend attack. And we've known about this for years, and we at Veriblock have been working on this problem for over 3 years. And only until recently has the community and the blockchain community and the public at large really tapped in to understand what this means. At the end of the day, if you don't have good security, your blockchain is susceptible to double spend attacks. So I'm not going to go into the details about what a 51% attack is. That's a presentation in and of itself. But in brief, imagine you wrote a check, you received your goods, and then after you got your goods, you were able to pull that check back. That's essentially what happens in a blockchain. It's a semi-sophisticated attack, but there's a lot of blockchains that are vulnerable. It's a real problem in the space. So there is a blockchain, fortunately, that does not suffer from this problem, and it's Bitcoin. Now, we know Bitcoin is secure because for over, 9 years now, Bitcoin has successfully transferred billions and billions of dollars of transactions, near flawlessly. And it's been able to do this because it's managed to acquire more computational power for securing its network than over 500 of the world's top supercomputers combined. And that's including the new supercomputer that was just announced by America that's now outperforming, that is now the #1 supercomputer in the world. So Bitcoin is a big deal. And when people say that it doesn't have anything backing it up, they might want to take a look at the tremendous amount of hashing power that it's secured, that it's acquired rather, to secure its network. That's something backing it up as far as I'm concerned. Now, it's managed to achieve this because we believe at Veriblock it's managed to achieve this because it adheres to 4 key principles, or these 4 attributes, these legs that underpin the table of immutability. And it's decentralization, transparency, trustlessness, and permissionlessness. Now that's a mouthful to say, so we're trying to coin the term DTTP, kind of like HTTP, and if you want to help us with that in the community, it would help cut down on some of these presentations as this becomes a really important topic. So DTTP is a really important aspect of immutability. And Bitcoin is the best example of this, and that's why it has the security that it does. So we've got this amazing blockchain, Bitcoin, that's got this amazing computational power and hashing power for securing its network. And we've got this conundrum, this security paradox. We've got these nascent blockchains, new blockchains, and some blockchains that have been around for a long time, but maybe they haven't acquired the hashing power that they need or the security that they need in order to properly protect their network. So what if you could combine this wonderful network of Bitcoin with, and help solve this problem? Well, that's what we've done at Veriblock. We've been working on this project for over 3 years, and we launched our testnet March 15th out of San Francisco. And Veriblock essentially allows any blockchain in the world to instantaneously acquire the full hashing power of Bitcoin, making it not just as secure as Bitcoin, but at a later part in time, and I'm not going to go into the details of it, after a few block cycles, actually more secure than Bitcoin. Because if an attacker was going to go after a blockchain secured by Veriblock, then they would have to penetrate not only Bitcoin, but they'd have to also penetrate Veriblock before they even begin to attack the blockchain inheriting the security. So how do we do this? Well, we've invented a new consensus protocol that we call proof of proof. And proof of proof is complex in nature. It's simple. It's a simple idea, but it's not easy to implement or explain. But in summary, I want you to imagine a new mining protocol where miners compete without any specialized hardware in order to do security transactions from an inheriting blockchain to the blockchain that's providing the security. And by doing these security transactions, that blockchain, then the proof-of-proof miners, by doing these security transactions, compete to be on that next block and write that transaction. And by competing, they'll split a reward among those who successfully got into the next block, tethering that security to the subordinate blockchain. Now, proof-of-proof is a complementary technology. It's not a competing technology. You know, if you've got proof of stake, if you've got proof of work, or a new consensus protocol that everybody should probably write down in this room and really go read up on after this conference, it's called proof of capacity. And this is wherein you use excess hard drive capacity as a form of proof of work. So proof of proof complements these technologies. It doesn't compete with them. We see scalability through this mechanism because now that Bitcoin can provide security to any number of blockchains, we can see a new form of scalability, a new paradigm for scalability that's based around trees of chains. So we often hear about Visa and its transaction volume and how many transactions it can handle, and that's a wonderful notion. But what if you have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 blockchains, all specializing in different transactions, all secured with the best security in the world, doing 5, 10 transactions a second? Well, now you've actually surpassed Visa's capacity, but more importantly, now you've got all these different blockchains that can specialize and provide different risk parameters and all sorts of wonderful attributes to transactions that may specifically be ideal for them. So for example, a bubblegum transaction or a coffee transaction is not going to have the same needs as buying an automobile. And because of this technology, it makes Bitcoin more eco-friendly because now instead of having an empty auditorium with this wonderful security, Bitcoin has thrown open the doors, and through proof of proof and Veriblock, any blockchain in the world can now fill that auditorium, making Bitcoin even more eco-friendly. So, plenty of other benefits. We provide early attack detection metrics for exchanges. Bill Shikara at Bittrex is one of our shareholders and partners. We provide protection for merchants, and also real-time early attack detection for wallets. So imagine you have a wallet, you've got your cryptocurrency, or whatever it is, and you could be notified in advance that there may be a potential attack occurring. So I've got 20 seconds left, and I just want to take a moment to say that I really appreciate everybody's attention and everybody being here so early in the morning. I think we're going to have an amazing conference. Thank you again to Mo. And if you want to get in touch with us, reach out to us at veriblock.org, and also on Telegram. We want to really get the community building in Telegram and get people to organically come in and really be a part of what we're doing. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Justin Fisher.